Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 7 p.m. in Akko subdivision. Welcome to our 7 p.m. newscast edition on Info TV. Today, our top story. Circumstances that led to the death of the 16-year-old Mvondo Ekoto Elodie have been explained to the press, as well as her alleged killers presented. This was at the National Gendarmerie First Region's Command Post this August 2025. The Kaminko Mining Company finally received its mining permit in Yaoundé. This was during a handover ceremony presided by the Minister of Mine and Technological Development, Professor Fu Kalistu Gentry. Those are our headlines. We begin our broadcasting tonight with a heartbreaking news. Circumstances that led to the death of the 16-year-old Mvondo Ekoto Elodie has been explained to the press, as well as her alleged killers presented. This was at the National Gendarmerie First Region's Command Post this August 2025. Report with Mildred Fonge.
Bread and chocolate mixed with rat poison is what ended the life of the 16-year-old Mvondo Ekoto Elodie at the Mangue neighborhood in Yaoundé, while presenting the killer Mifira Kubu Ramadan and his accomplices to the press. At the National Gendarmerie First Region Command Post, the facts were revealed. The young girl, aged 15, was called Mvondo Ekoto Elodie, and she lived with her family, that is, her father's wife, and at some point, she started facing difficulties while living there, as her father is a soldier working out of town. So she decided to seek refuge in a male neighbor's house, and they got into a relationship. So Mr. Ramadan got jealous of her relationship and wanted her by all means, and at the end of the day, the girl laid down some conditions to Ramadan, one of them being she is hungry. 3 weeks ago, I received a call and I was informed of the situation. She had left home and I told the family to inform the security forces so that my daughter can be found. The family was equally searching on their parts. Family members of the victim remain inconsolable, and agents of the National Gendarmerie brought the assassin to the crime spot for fact reconstitution. After crushing and toasting the young girl in vain, Ramadan invited her over with other intentions. On July 19, Ramadan bought bread mixed with chocolate and rat poison. The intention of these acts was to drug and sexually abuse the victim, while on his part, he drank bullets to get sexually aroused. After realizing that Elodie has died after consuming the bread, he carried and dropped her body not far from his home. The murderer's accomplices who tried to help him escape after the crime were also apprehended. I regret what I did. I wanted to come and confess my actions, but my uncle said I should go to the village. Mifira Kubu Ramadan and his collaborators will face the wrath of the law in the days ahead.
Rest in peace, Mvondo Ekoto Elodie. Let us talk about the social security, the signing of the National Collective Agreement between employee and trade union this Wednesday, 20th August 2025, at the Ministry of Labor and Social Security in presence of the Minister Gregor Ouna. The agreement seeks to boost employee productivity and improve business performance. More details with Jessica Dio.
The agreement is expected to provide a stronger legal framework for structured social dialogue between employers and trade unions, which is designed to boost employee productivity while improving business performance across various sectors.
Nous sommes aujourd'hui.
We are pleased to have led these discussions with employers in the spirit of good faith and mutual respect. The negotiations were marked by true cooperation, guided by a constant concern to safeguard the interests of both parties. As workers, we have refrained from excessive demands, knowing that enterprises must remain viable. At the same time, we considered it essential to secure improvements that will enhance the daily lives of employees.
Des travailleurs.
These targeted revisions from minimum wages to allowances not only address immediate employee needs but also set the stage for a more balanced and sustainable working environment.
Nous avons aussi plus d'une dizaine de points.
We have revised more than 10 key points, with the most important being the adjustment of the minimum wage in the polygraphic arts sector. In addition, modifications were made to loan amounts, as well as transport and housing allowances. While not every detail could be highlighted, all changes were undertaken with a single objective, that is to improve the living and working conditions of the employees. The Minister of Labour and Social Security, Gregoire Owona, hailed the initiative as a step forward in consolidating industrial peace and promoting sustainable economic growth.
Je suis heureux que vous soyez tous heureux.
I am glad to see that everyone is satisfied. Starting January 1st, 2026, workers will experience tangible improvements in their working conditions, a significant step towards decent work. Employers might earn slightly less, but they will continue to benefit, which is important. It is crucial that we remain proactive and responsive to employee concerns. All of these progress was achieved without street protest or confrontations, thanks entirely to the constructive dialogue voluntarily engaged between employers and trade unions. The collective agreement signed takes effect upon signature, which is now incumbent on each of the parties to fulfill their commitments so that the legal framework effectively improves employees' productivity and boosts business performance, and also expected to reinforce workers' rights while creating an enabling environment for businesses to thrive.
Let us talk about innovation on industry agreement in Cameroon. The Kamingo Mining Company finally received its mining permit in Yaoundé. This was during a handover meeting presided over by the Minister of Mine and Technological Development, Professor Fu Calisto Gendry. Philip Enchi covered the event. His reports.
Following the signing of the Mining Convention on March 14, 2025, the Interim Minister of Mines, Industry and Technological Development, Professor Fu Calisto Gendry, handed over the mining permit for the Mbongene gold mine to the Kamingo Mining Company on August 19, 2025 in Yaoundé. This permit allows Kamingo Mining Company to proceed with activities at the mining site located in the Betare Oya subdivision, Lomanjare division, East region. The permit handover ceremony marks the beginning of a new phase for the country's mining sector. The development is expected to potentially boost mining activities and contribute to the country's economy.
Let this be a new day in the mining history of Cameroon. We are putting order in the sector. Everybody has his place. Artisanal mining, sensu stricto. Semi-mécanisé has his place. Semi-mécanisé advanced petite mine in closed systems has its place. Mining in the true sense with a big multinational like Shandong is a new era in the mining history of Cameroon. I therefore implore you to respect the conditions of the Mining Convention.
The ceremony was an opportunity for both parties to reaffirm their commitment to responsible mining operations beneficial to all stakeholders.
We intend to already their phases. We are doing acceleration of drilling to increase the reserve. And in parallel, we will be preparing to launch the mining itself, the industrial mining itself. We need to do the concept design of the two near city, which is already the factory of lots of entrepreneurs. because you won't benefit in the disorder. That's why we will be working closely with the Department of Planning to achieve those goals.
Besides creating jobs, Kaminko Mining Company, through its Chief Executive Officer, has pledged to take concrete steps in protecting the environment and reducing the impact of its operation.
The mining code has made provisions for a rehabilitation fund. Like every company that has a mining project has to contribute annually to rehabilitate the site. If you don't rehabilitate the site by yourself, there's a fund you're going to put in place annually that the government is going to use to take care of those rehabilitation of every mining project.
The technical work on the Mbogene gold mine is set to begin in the coming days, with operations to be conducted through an open pit mine featuring unique characteristics. The first gold bars are expected to be available by December 2026.
From industry to education, the 20th session of the National Commissions for Private Basic Education have been organized. The 2 days program, which started on August 19, 2025 at the Multipurpose Sport Complex, presided by the Minister of Basic Education, Professor Laurent Serge Etundingwa, to promote the quality of basic private education. Mimi Chobo highlight the ceremony. Harry.
The Ministry of Basic Education hosted the 20th session of the National Commission for Private Education at the Yaoundé Multipurpose Sport Complex, a 2-day program that started on August 19 and will end on August 20, 2025. The workshop session, presided over by the Minister of Basic Education, Professor Laurent Serge Etundingwa, emphasized the commitment of public authorities to promoting quality basic private education under the theme Regulation and Rationalization of Subventions, ensuring high-quality education for private primary schools through effective support.
The issue of subvention has raised a lot of dust in the past, but we are thinking that instead of giving 1 million francs to a school every year, we'd rather give them a lump sum so that at the end they would see practically what that money has done for the school. The way it is now, the purpose of this session is to sit them and they themselves discuss the modalities of these subventions. If we impose, it will be like we are sitting in our offices and imposing. But we have witnessed the problems with these subventions. We've exchanged with them, but we are hoping that during this commission, they themselves would outline the regulations that would be best suitable for the distribution of these subventions.
This workshop offers an opportunity to move from proclamation to action, from simulation to concrete application through a set of capacity building activities, and also to favor the education of Cameroonian youth with a constant concern for ethics and responsibility.
First of all, we want to ensure that our pupils are in good conditions while they study. Can you imagine that a proprietor will be renting a building and would not pay the landlord, and the landlord would come and want to close the school? That is not money. Money cannot buy that. But we want to ensure that our pupils are in secure environment, taught by teachers who are well trained. And that is why we continue to train teachers every year.
Present at the ceremony were the Secretary of State to the Minister of Basic Education, Vivian Ashibikilo, the Governor of the Central Region, Nasiri Paul Biya, members of the educational sectors, and other dignitaries.
Still on commitment, the IFA Cameroon Group is continuing with the defense session of its 4th batch. Activity on this day center on the students specialized on ISTT, cosmetic and professional hairdressing, who presented their final training project. More details with Patient Shinto.
A spectacular demonstration at IFA Cameroon earned one candidate the highest praise with an excellent distinction marked by a score of 19.5. Her creative presentation, inspired by a mummy-themed makeup design, captured both the artistic essence of the craft and the admiration of the jury and audience alike. I wanted to show young Cameroonians like myself that we can do what one
whites do in the field of makeup, that we can realize what we see on TV right here in Cameroon. The event formed part of the defense sessions for the 4th batch in the aesthetics and cosmetics and professional hairdressing programs held at the Efuland campus in Yaoundé 3. It was also an opportunity for graduating students to express gratitude to the institution's leadership for the guidance received throughout their training.
Nous avons fait une formation de 1 an.
We underwent a year of training dating from 2024 to 2025. And right now, I'm very happy because I had an excellent score. I want to thank our director and all our trainers for their wonderful services. And I'm happy to continue after this.
De continuer la suite en fait.
Addressing participants, Fabrice Dongmo, President and CEO of IFA Cameroon Group, underscored the importance of continuity, assuring that post-training support services would accompany the graduates as they transition into their professional careers. After the defense, we will immediately engage with the second part of the program, which involves the national examinations, while waiting for the 2025-2026 academic year. The defense sessions concluded in a celebratory atmosphere with souvenir photographs capturing the achievements of a new generation of beauty and hairdressing professionals.
Let us move to the highlights of Cameroon, a comprehensive coordination meeting chaired by the Senior Divisional Officer for Ndonga Mantum, George Emmanuel Basiliken. The meeting takes place at the Ndu Council, joining delegates from all the 5 subdivisions of the said division. Let us take the report from Jude Kenji.
The meeting's primary focus was on ensuring stability during pivotal upcoming periods. The Senior Divisional Officer for Ndonga Mantum, George Emmanuel Basiliken, issued direct instructions for the implementation of tight security arrangements throughout the division. He specifically highlighted the need for a secure and peaceful environment for both the imminent presidential election and the back-to-school season. He urged collaboration between administrative officials, law enforcement, and local communities to preempt and mitigate any potential disruptions. In a review of current affairs, delegates from various ministries provided optimistic reports that indicated a positive trajectory for the division. Representatives from the transport, secondary education, and basic education sectors, alongside the Divisional Controller of Finance, presented updates that pointed to significant improvements in their respective domains. These reports collectively suggested a return to normalcy and progress across several key public sectors. Concluding the meeting, the SDO for Ndonga Mantum, George Emmanuel Basiliken, delivered a firm message on performance and governance. He explicitly reminded all delegates that accountability was paramount, stating that those who fail to meet their responsibilities will not receive their official credit cards for the year. This directive underscored a strict performance-based approach to administration aimed to motivate officials and ensure that public resources were directly linked to tangible results.
A call to action urging health actors. World Mosquito Day is celebrated every year on 20th August to help raise awareness about the ongoing threat malaria and other diseases transmitted by one of the deadliest creators. Mimi Chobo exchanged with a specialist. Her report.
Each year, World Mosquito Day presents an opportunity to raise awareness about the dangers posed by mosquito-borne diseases and the ongoing efforts to combat the world's deadliest creature. The theme for the World Mosquito Day 2025 is Accelerating the Fight Against Malaria for a More Equitable World.
It's important to notice that despite the nuisance caused by mosquitoes, they represent the most deadliest animal in the world. So mosquito are killing more than any other animals. And among the diseases they cause, we have malaria, we have dengue, we have Zika, we have West Nile virus, we have yellow fever, and many others. And this disease can cause severe damage to humans, including death. In Cameroon, for example, malaria represents the first cause of mortality and morbidity, particularly in pregnant women and children under 5 years old.
By observing World Mosquito Day, awareness is raised about the importance of mosquito control and prevention measures to combat these deadly diseases.
It's good to use protection measures. So the first one is to use, in the case of malaria, for example, is to use bed nets that the government and the country is distributing freely. And even for women going for consultations, they receive this bed net for free. So it's good to use them. It's very effective in protecting mosquito bites. We have also individual protection measures, so like cleaning around our houses, removing stagnating waters, cutting grasses around.
Preventing mosquito bites is crucial, especially with the rise of mosquito-borne diseases.
Turning to data information in a bid to revive telecommunication atmosphere within Central Africa and beyond, the telecommunication body in 2 days conclave in Yaoundé bring together expertise to foster institutional corporations and build the capacity of regulatory authority in the sub-region. Once more with Philip Enchi.
In a bid to bridge connectivity gaps and bolster the telecommunications landscape in Central Africa, 7 countries, notably Cameroon, Chad, Gabon, Central African Republic, Congo, Equatorial Guinea, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, unite at the Telecommunications Regulatory Board, Plantanium Building in Yaoundé, for its 3rd extraordinary session of the Central African Telecommunications Regulatory Conference, also called ATTAC, on August 19, 2025. Presiding over the session is the president of ATTAC, Christian Kandenge Mukene, alongside the Director General of the Telecommunication Regulatory Board in Cameroon and regulator guarantor of ATTAC, Professor Philemon Zozam. The 2 days conclave focuses on finding possible solutions to tackle the digital divide between urban and rural areas, overcome shortages of skilled human resources in the telecommunications sector, combat unfair competition and anti-competitive practices within the industry, provide a better network and data security, and more in the sub-region. The opening session unfolds with a closed-door executive meeting with the signing of the ICT Observatory Transfer Agreement, a presentation of activity for the year 2024-2025 financial year, adoption of the 2025-2026 budget, action plan, and more. The telecom giants and the administrators are convened for a successful extraordinary session.
Nous sommes ici
We are here today for a conference which occupies an important part of our organization, aiming to tackle issues that concerns the functioning of our organization, the transformation of digitalization, and developing strategies so as to accelerate digital transformation in our various countries. We shall proceed with the official ceremony in the coming hours, but notwithstanding, we began our working session this morning tackling troubling issues concerning the telecommunication sector.
These initiatives, if successfully implemented, could lead to more equitable access to telecom services across Central Africa, fostering economic growth and digital inclusion. By streamlining regulations and focusing on security and connectivity, regulators aims to create a more robust telecom sector. The moves underscores the importance of coordinated efforts among Central African nations to harness the full potential of telecommunications for a socio-economic development.
Without transitions, after a conclave bringing 7 telecommunication regulatory board in Central Africa, the 3rd extraordinary session of Central African Telecommunication Regulatory Board, also called RLTSA proceeds with its official opening on August 20, 2025 at the Telecommunication Regulatory Board Platinum Building in Yaoundé, presided over by the Minister of Posts and Telecommunication, representative of the Prime Minister, Head of Government, Minette Libon Lincoln. Once more with Philippe Enchi.
In light of telecommunication deficiencies prevalent in the Central Africa sub-region, Telecommunications and Regulatory Board in Central Africa convened an extraordinary conference on August 20, 2025 in Yaoundé. With the rapid advancement of information and communication technology significantly impacting economies, the sub-region now faces the detrimental effects of not keeping pace with the swiftly growing demand for ICT and artificial intelligence. The meeting is expected to play a pivotal role in modernizing the legal environment to align with global economic trends.
The impact of what we are doing here in Cameroon depends on what is done in the other countries of CEMAC. That's why we expect a lot from this conference so that our regulator can harmonize their way of doing, sharing experience, and be sure that the challenges they are facing are the same. So when we are working together, it's easy for them now to propose solutions to those multinationals who come in our countries. If they are working together, we are sure that the market of our sub-region will be inclusive and really performance and will encourage innovation and creativity.
Expectations are high as the meeting proceeds.
We expect a lot from this conference, and it is very important for our country who want to be a hub of the sub-region.
The objective during this year's third extraordinary session is clear.
Cette assemblée générale veille surtout à parler des différents points que nous avons.
This General Assembly is out to supervise what we programmed and also assess the evolution of our activities in 2024 and also evaluate what has been done so far. So we are here today to put our ideas together so as to tackle issues limiting the sub-region's advancement in information and communication technology. So in all, we are here to find solution for a better digital transformation within our sub-region.
The meeting is an opportunity for Cameroon to strengthen its telecommunication sector.
Le Cameroun, pays hôte de cet événement, est fier de contribuer à cette initiative.
Cameroon is very delighted to participate and contribute to such an initiative to advance telecommunication in Africa and in Africa in general and Central Africa in particular. Our conference offers a unique platform for us to share our ideas, reinforce our partnership, put together our expertise, and finding lasting solutions to our communication challenges.
Telecommunications regulatory boards within the sub-region are conscious of the organization's objective while adopting an inclusive approach tackling telecommunication deficiencies within the sub-region.
Nous partageons aussi la même vision.
We share the same vision, which is an inclusive integration so that our attack can be well structured and equipped with a precise vision for the benefit of our respective countries.
L'intégration numérique de nos pays est très importante.
Digital integration is very important for our countries. This digital integration comes about with lots of challenges. That is why our respective states need to come together with our resources and technology so that the aspect of security can be tightened.
Member countries of ATTAC are bent on working in solidarity so as to bring about efficient, stable and reliable telecommunication services to users across the sub-region. The meeting proceeds with the signing of the Information and Communication Technology Observatory Transfer Agreement.
Appreciation to the Minister of Posts and Telecommunication, Minette Libon Lincoln, for the hard working. The recap of the headlines. Circumstances that led to the death of the 16-year-old Mvondo Ekoto Elodie have been explained to the press, as well as her alleged killers presented. This was at the National Gendarmerie First Region's Command Post this August 20th, 2025. The Kaminko Mining Company finally received its mining permit in Yaoundé. This was during a handover ceremony presided over by the Minister of Mine and Technological Development, Professor Fu Kalistu Gentry. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for your kind attention. Stay in company of our incredible program, 8 p.m. newscast in French language, presented by Claudia Sa. Tomorrow is another day. Good night.